Today we are in Waco, Texas, and I'm standing at one of the most haunting pieces of land in American history, where 82 Branch Davidians lived in 1993. 76 were killed, including many children, during a 51-day standoff with the ATF and FBI. Most people know about David Koresh and the fiery ending that happened here back in 1993. But few people know what actually happened to the victims afterward. Like, where are they buried? How are they remembered? And what exactly remains of their story? Today I'm going to show you around the compound here and discuss a little bit of the victim stories, and then I'm going to go to the cemetery where a lot of them are buried. It's going to be sad and interesting, to say the least, but let's begin. So for those of you who do not know, the Waco Siege began on February 28th, 1993. ATF agents attempted to raid the Mount Carmel Center, home to the Branch Davidians, a religious group led by David Koresh. What was supposed to be a surprise weapons raid turned into a deadly gun battle. 4 federal agents were killed, 6 Branch Davidians died in the initial shootout. From that moment on, this small religious compound became the center of national attention. For 51 days, negotiations dragged on. Inside were families, children, people who believed Koresh was their spiritual leader. Outside were federal agents waiting for compliance. And on April 19th, the standoff ended in a fire that swept through the compound in minutes. If you watch any of the footage from the Waco thing, and you can see this road directly, behind me going this way, all the ATF trucks, the ATF agents running out, and so many were shot and injured, and some were killed, and the news crews, all on the road right there, all lined up. Absolutely just mind-blowing to be here. I was here a few years ago, and it's hitting me just as hard today. To think too that when the FBI was trying to get them to come out, they were watching them from this road, blasting the loud music and all the lights right up there. But they were camping out here. If you look at some of these too, kids are really sad. Serenity C. Jones, age 4. Little one Jones, age 1.5. Lisa M. Martin, age 13. Actually, from the pictures I've seen, when we go to the cemetery, we should be able to see some Martin graves. 13 and 15. So let's remember that. Lisa Martin, Sheila Martin, age 13 and 15. See if we can find their graves. Some more Martins. Jamie Martin, Wayne Martin. Well, we were just standing right out there. If we were the Branch Davidians, we would have seen the FBI, ATF guys right on that road. And now on the Branch Davidian side, here we are. So from what I remember the last time I was here, the church, that's here today, they put it in the exact same spot of where the front door was, the church to the original compound building. So that'll give you an idea. That was the main entrance in the front. The building would have been all right here. Now, I'm not going inside the church today. I've done that in a previous video. If you want to see the inside, I'll leave that video linked at the end of this one. So back in 1993, I'd be walking in the main building right now, and David Koresh and them would have had this view looking out. So I can do a side-by-side shot. Here's the view today versus back then. Oh, and they even have a marker of the Oklahoma City bombing, remembrance of all the men, women, and children who were victimized, slaughtered in the bombing of the Oklahoma City Federal Building, April 19th, 1995, which, if you're interested in that, I have quite a few videos discussing the Oklahoma City bombing. And Timothy McVeigh, who drove the Ryder truck and set the bombs, it all started with this, the Waco Siege. And it would happen, he would do it on the same day, the anniversary. Now if we walk over this way, you're gonna see some really creepy stuff. Like right here. Vault where mother and children were gassed. And still here. They'll probably have this here for a very long time. Right here on this slab of concrete, this is where the vault was, where the mom and the kids were hanging out, where they would meet their end right here. Many of the remains of the victims were recovered all around me from the rubble. Many were found in clusters, parents holding children, followers trying to escape the smoke, which there's an underground bus there. We're going to head there next, talk a little bit more about that. And this is the actual pool that was here. Very gross water today, but the Branch Davidians used this pool and still here. And if we go over this way, this is the underground bus that is still here today. If you've ever seen the, I think it's on Amazon Prime, the Waco documentary, like 6-part series, at the end you could see there's like moms, kids, and people that were trapped in here and they all burned. But here's the bus today. So if the compound was all right here, there would have been an underground tunnel that led to the underground bus. I guess it's safe to say the tunnel is somewhere possibly under us today. And just so you guys understand too, after the fire, the victims' bodies were taken to various resting places. Some families claimed their loved ones and buried them privately. Others were laid to rest here in Waco. Hi, buddy. Definitely surreal to be here. Now, before we head to the cemetery, I just want to make it clear, I'm not debating in this video or picking sides who was right, who was wrong. We all know it ended in tragedy, but I'm here to remember the victims because a lot of us just think of David Koresh, right? But a lot of the victims get left behind, especially the children. So right now we're going to head to the cemetery and see the graves. I'm standing here's the main road right here, and down that way, if I turn the camera around, right down that road is the old Mount Carmel compound. But it's crazy to me when I go back and see the footage and these documentaries of, you know, the reporters and the ATF cars and, you know, flying out of here. And I mean, if you look now, there's literally nobody out here. I'm by myself. That's even a dirt path down that way. But 1993, this was the biggest media center in the country for 51 days. Absolutely insane to think about. And if you look, here I'll zoom in a little. If you look straight ahead, center of your screen, there's the church today. We've made it. McLennan County Restland Cemetery. Now, I do not know at all where they're buried. I hope I can find them. I'm here by myself. I do not have my wife who is good at finding graves. So we're just gonna look around. Thankfully, it's not a big cemetery. I don't know why, but it looks like this is all brand new or dug up, but all these headstones or footstones look brand new. So somewhere here, there should be several people who died in the Waco Siege that are buried here today. A lot of them were followers of David Koresh, and unfortunately, a lot of them here are children that were just born into the group. After the fire, many of the bodies really were not claimed by anyone. Family, a lot of them could not even be identified for obvious reasons due to the fire, and those unclaimed remains were buried in pauper graves somewhere here. I'm still searching. Now I know some of them just say child or adult, the ones that couldn't be identified, but they all have 1993 as the date. These are 95, 96. I've found at least 5 graves so far. I believe there might be more here, but right in front of us is the Martin family. I was a little confused at first because if you look at Jamie Martin, she must have been a child because born 1982, but she lived to 1998, so I wonder if she got out. But if you look, we'll go down this list. Sorry about my reflection, it's just the sun. Oh, if I could, there we go. Unknown Martin child. Not sure when this child was born, but death date, year, 1993. Wayne Martin, 20 years old. Wayne Martin, 1973 to 1993. Anita Martin, unknown, 1993. And last Douglas Martin, 1950 to 1993. So I'm assuming he was the father, since it's the oldest. But the Martin family, it's right here. This is just dumb luck for me because I normally am here for at least an hour finding the graves. I just dumb luck stumbled upon them. So here's the Martins, and right behind them here, it might be this entire row. I just seen unknown child like everywhere, 1993. So let's go take a look. Both unknown. Wow. Another unknown, 1993. This one really sad. Child Jane Doe, unknown, 1993. Somebody left a pumpkin though. That's really nice, especially since no one really knows who these people are that are buried here. Another unknown, 1993. Unknown Jane Doe, 1993. Finally found a name. Aisha Summers, 1975 to 1993. Sonia Murray, unknown to 1993. Looks like these two are the Martinez family, but they both say unknown Martinez. Unknown Martinez, 1993. This stuff is so sad. Abigail and Audrey are together. Look, what is that? 12 years old? Abigail Martinez, 12 years old. Audrey Martinez, 13 years old. Another Martinez. Joseph Martinez, a young boy, 9 years old. I searched the surrounding areas and cannot find any more 1993s. So all right here, and then starting there, all the way down the line to the very end. These are all victims of the Waco Siege. A lot of children are buried right here in front of me. Man, it's so sad to, this whole story is just beyond sad. And you know, the parents, I said this in a previous video, but like the parents knew what they were doing, what they signed up for. They decided to stay. David Koresh said, if you want to go, there's the door. They decided to stay, and it cost not only their lives, but their children's lives. Child Jane Doe. It's right behind me. Just a tragedy that didn't have to happen. Mainly because of one man. Well, y'all, that was interesting to say the least, but I'm glad I got here to visit these folks that had a horrible ending to their lives. But if you want to see more content like this, more Waco videos or famous graves, check out my dark history playlist or famous graves playlist, and I'll see you there.